There is only one place in the world where you get to be more ambiguous, have more guesswork, and make more wrong predictions, yet still be highly respected than the world of being a weatherman or a meteorologist, and that's in the world of social media. Social media experts love to predict the future and tell you what's going to be popular based on their inside information and what they believe the world's going to be. But I'm going to burst your bubble on this week's 3 and 5 with Patrick Allmond. Hi, my friends. Welcome to this week's 3 and 5 with Patrick Allmond. And I want you to know that it's not necessarily going to be 3 points in 5 minutes. If you've been listening to the most recent podcasts or videos, we're slowly changing up the format of the show because it's going to be maybe just one major point and even take longer than 5 minutes. But for those of you that have never heard the show before, I come on camera if you're watching this on YouTube, or come right there in your ear if you're listening to this on a podcast, and I give you some valuable marketing tips in a very compressed, short period of time. So you can listen to these as you're driving from one place to another, or if you're on break at work and you only have a short amount of time. My goal is to get some great marketing tips into your brain as quickly as possible. And this week I want to talk about something that's really been annoying me recently, and it's social media experts that like to predict the future and the people that follow them. Here is basically the too long didn't read version, okay? Nobody has a clue as to what social media is going to look like tomorrow or next week or next month. You may be following someone who's extremely popular on social media, or several people that are like, oh my gosh, Snapchat is the shiz now. We have to get on Snapchat. Everyone's using Snapchat. It's the coolest marketing thing ever. Or you might hear the same thing about Pinterest, or about Facebook, or about Google, or about YouTube, or about Google+, or about just anything in the world. We all love to get obsessed with watching experts talking about what's going to be the next coolest thing, what's going to be hot, what's going to be the buzz, what people are interested in. And sometimes they do this based off of very loose information, which can really be frustrating to other agency owners or even people like you who have to basically take this information and figure out every single day, how are you going to market your business? And sometimes what happens is you see maybe a small group saying, we don't use that platform anymore. And then some expert will come out and say, oh my goodness, this platform is dead to such and such group. Don't use it anymore. Go over and use this other group. And another popular one that we've heard that recently is Snapchat and teens. And you've heard recently that teenagers are no longer on Facebook because their parents are on Facebook. We know that that's complete BS. There are plenty of teenagers on Facebook. Are they over on Snapchat? Yes. Are they over on Pinterest? Yes. Are they over on Twitter? Yes. None of these platforms is dead. All of these platforms are viable. So with that being said, whenever you hear some kind of forecast or prediction about a social media platform, please take it with not just a small grain of salt, a huge giant salt lick. And remember, the person that is saying it, unless they actually work inside of a social media company, like it's a Facebook employee, like Mark Zuckerberg or somebody at the top, the person on camera that's talking about it has no clue as to what they're talking about. Most of the time, social media companies put out a feature and then they tell us later it's out, and then we all have to figure out how to use it. Sometimes we do get a little bit of heads up about what's coming, but trying to forecast and guess the future of social media, don't even bother. As I've said before in past videos, pick some good, solid, big, consistent platforms to get your message out on and use those over and over and over. And the ones I've used consistently are the Google Advertising Network, Facebook, and YouTube. There are some other ones out there, but you know what? Google has been around for a long time. It's not going anyplace. Same thing with YouTube, same thing with Facebook. And another criteria I use to figure out what platforms to be on, based on trying to guess the future, are ones that are profitable. I do not invest heavily in putting social media out on a platform that's not profitable. For example, Twitter is a platform that's not very profitable. I do put content out on there, but you know what? I don't know what the future of Twitter is going to be. I know they're going to have to change and transform and adapt to stay alive, but I really, even as a social media expert who lives and dies 12 hours a day on social media, I don't have a clue as to what they're doing. So be careful about listening to people that try to forecast the future of social media. Sometimes it's even the tail wagging the dog, if you know what I mean. Anyways, I also want to share with you something else cool that's going to come up here at Focus. is that you know how you're watching this right now or you're listening to it on iTunes or on a podcast? Just this past week, we submitted all the artwork and all the paperwork to turn all this into an app over at Libsyn, Libsyn. So hopefully here in the next 4 to 8 weeks, there will actually be an Own Your Empire app you can download. It'll have all the podcasts in it. It'll have PDF handouts, like strategy documents and checklists and things like that. It'll have videos in it. It'll have all kinds of great things in it, in addition to the regular content that you're used to seeing. So stay tuned in future videos or podcasts and listen for when the Own Your Empire app comes out, because you're going to want to download it. It's going to be out for iOS first, and then we're going to work on Android after that. So that's coming up in the future. As usual, if you have any questions, please send them over to me, Patrick, at allaboutfocus.com. You can search for my name, Patrick Allmond, on every single platform where you're going to find me. Shoot me your questions, and I will answer them on the weekly video and podcast. Until then, follow us on YouTube, follow us all over on social media, watch the other videos, send me your comments, be smart on social media, be smart with digital marketing, take care, and run a great business.